All manner of mayhem breaking loose here, the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk here on a April 1st, 2019. I'm Big Daddy Gonzo, sporting not one but two pairs of glasses. I've got them all. I'm going bananas today because once again, our producer Bo has better things to do with his time than to be here helping me. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. But what's really funny is that everybody's looking at you while I'm talking. Hi, everybody. I'm Big Daddy Gonzo.
Was I supposed to be talking during that time,
You're supposed to
too?
be saying something. Yeah, that's what it is. Because God knows I'm infallible. I'm the host.
Yes.
Yeah, they're looking at you again, which is really funny because they're not supposed to be looking at you. They're supposed to be looking at me. Hi, how you doing? Wow. Talking about starting off with some technical difficulties.
We're there.
Wait, let me put my show glasses on.
Oh, much better.
That way I can know it. Well, hey, you're the one wearing fucking nerdy ass glasses too. So
these are not nerdy ass glasses.
They are nerdy
They're
ass
just
glasses.
Nerdy glasses.
They are nerdy. And wait, let me get my hi. How you doing? Just so everybody knows who I am. And then of course there's you. Let's everybody knows. Welcome to Mazz. The Mazz.
Hello, everybody.
Da Mazz.
How are you, sir? Sound a little rough. I'm guessing.
Well, it's always a rough start, dude. For some strange reason, I have peaked as far as I can go, as far as hosting and running the board at the same time. I have peaked in my ability, and it's not a very high fucking level. It really is.
I think you're selling yourself a little bit short.
I think I'm selling myself a little far, but but we do have a lot to get to. The Walkoff will be dealing with something a little close. You're getting a little close, a little too close for comfort. We talk about that Miami sports scene, especially the Marlins. As we talk about baseball, don't get started now. Well, save it for later. Save it.
Can we throw a tease out there just so they know?
A tease? Okay, throw a tease out there.
Yeah,
Go
thanks
ahead.
for coming this weekend. That's all. Great job, Jester.
I
Court,
took the
Jester.
camera.
Okay,
Calm down.
Next.
Calm down.
All right.
I have to get an angry cat. Get a squirt bottle and settle him down. But a whole lot happening this weekend. And I mean a whole lot. The NCAAs, of course, we all know the NCAA tournament, both men's and women's, but of course everybody pays attention to the men's. And an epic weekend of action. We have now whittled it down to the Final Four.
Yeah, there's only one number one seed left.
Yeah, and the Elite Eight whittled down.
Yeah.
I mean, probably the game of the tournament so far, Michigan State and Duke.
Yeah, take down the Giant.
That was such an epic game. I gotta say, I broke a little sweat. I got a little sweaty.
You know what I saw, or many things that I saw, of course, that bothered me, was right away they were talking about, there's no Zion in the Final Four. There's no Zion in the Final Four. It does such a disservice to the kids that are in the Final Four. So, and there's four very good teams right now that are playing for a championship.
Well, and we see the media outlets get fixated on a player like a Zion Williams, and yeah, I have to say it's probably better. It's definitely better for the four teams that are in there, but it's probably better that they lost. What was that? 80. What was the final score?
68-67.
68-67.
Yeah.
I watched most of that game.
Yeah.
For the most part. I can say a great portion of that game. I think I missed maybe about 4 minutes of it total. I was doing stuff, but I sat my ass down and watched.
Great game.
I mean, we're talking about a balanced game where two very evenly matched teams. Some people, Russ, the guru's guru, he was saying that it was a bit of a major upset, but I don't know. I wanted to argue about that. Because,
you know that Duke was the worst shooting percentage team that was in the field? Not even in the field, like in the country. Like they're like one of the worst 3-point percentage teams in the entire country. So,
their regular field goal percentage, they were shooting in the low 40s even.
Well, I mean, Zion's making a lot of shots close to the hoop, and there's some decent jump shooters.
Me slam ball
as a team. They had one of the worst 3-point percentages in college basketball. So
that's not going to get you. That's not going to. Well, I'll tell you what. It got you to the Elite Eight.
Well, I mean, the talent alone is off the charts, but still, I mean, at this point, you got to hit shots. So it's 5 games you got to win, and then the 6th one is the one that's the key. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have. So there are 4.
There are 4. Yes.
And we are dealing with Texas Tech versus Virginia.
That's correct.
We are dealing with
Michigan State versus
Auburn.
Yes, correct.
And I personally, I am both annoyed at and happy that Auburn is there. Didn't Auburn's the one that beat Gonzaga, right?
Yes.
You bastards!
Yes.
But
no. Auburn beat Kentucky.
Oh, it was Texas Tech, wasn't it?
Auburn beat Kentucky.
All right, and so who's playing Texas Tech?
Texas Tech. I mean, who beat Texas Tech? Well, Texas Tech beat Gonzaga.
Right, but who's playing Texas Tech?
Texas Tech is playing Virginia.
Go Virginia!
Yeah.
I don't even like Virginia, but you know what? Texas Tech pissed me off.
Yeah.
Why? Because I loved Gonzaga was great. They had like the Japanese kid, and
you know what? I can remember whenever people talk about Cinderellas in college basketball, their name always comes to the top. It seems, but they've been they've been at the top for quite some time. You know, this is clearly they came in as a 1, so it's the highest seeding that they've ever had. But I think people know where Gonzaga is.
Well, they're basketball U now. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, they are a basketball university. I mean, can you name anybody who plays on Gonzaga's football team?
They have a football team.
Baseball team?
Flag football or regular football?
Probably flag.
Flag football, yeah.
Probably flag.
Is it intramural, junior, varsity, mixed, co-ed / curling
nude
league?
What nude?
Sure.
I mean, if it's mixed, junior, co-ed, nude.
No.
Can you imagine me running down the field with wearing nothing but flags?
Actually, wait a second. Give me a second. Still no.
Don't throw up on my table.
Yeah, sorry.
I've got to use this afterwards.
Okay.
The Gonzo Radio Show, by the way, the podcast coming up after this at 8 o'clock. Shameless plug. 2 great guests coming up there. We were supposed to have a guest sit in tonight, Mr. Randy Vega, but real life called. So we couldn't get him in here and have him sit uncomfortably close next to you.
Hey, listen, I showered. You told me to shower, and I did. So,
and he's a good-sized dude, so it would have been a lot of fun to see the two of you trying to sit shoulder to shoulder in the same frame.
Would you have made us share chairs? Would it be on the same chair?
No, not the same chair.
Okay,
no, two different chairs.
These chairs aren't very big.
I'm not a monster.
Calipari, that coach out there in Kentucky, right? That the school.
Coach Cal, yeah, cool. Coach Cal got offered a lifetime position.
Yeah,
lifetime.
What does that mean?
That means that it's like tenure.
Let's say he wants to coach 5 more years. And he lives for 30.
The graphic came up him going like that.
That's awesome.
Anyway.
Well, we plan all those.
Yes, planned it.
Okay, so again, he coaches 5, he lives for 30. Is he an assistant for 25? Is he?
Are you going to give him $9 million after he dies?
What does it mean exactly? Lifetime? Can you explain to me what lifetime contracts are? Marriage is a lifetime contract, right?
Right. Well,
60%
for some of us
rate.
it is.
Well, I'm saying, generally they're looked upon pretty unfavorably. I don't, and people that are married successfully don't. But, just by numbers alone, what is it, a 60% failure rate for that?
Those of you who have married well?
For that lifetime contract? Why are people so afraid or why are people so quick to judge people that make change or that have the ability to have change in their future? Maybe to even better himself at some point, if that's possible, or anybody.
Well, in this instance, what you're looking at is you're looking at Kentucky trying to keep Calipari from moving to a place like UCLA.
Yeah, that's on the board.
UCLA, which is a crown jewel program in the history of NCAA basketball. And I'm sure they can offer to pay him a whole lot of money. They can back the truck up for that dude.
Yeah. Well, again, I just don't like when they throw around those sorts of things. Just pay him. Just add a zero. Add a comma. Put it someplace. Give him more money. Give him. I know coaches are guaranteed contracts.
Hang on. Keep talking.
But basically, just just give him more money. He was going to get $8 million a year at this point.
Move this chair.
Give him 10, give him 11, give him 12, give him whatever you got to give him just to keep him there. It makes no sense to give him you're a lifetime. You come here for life. It's just silly.
How about a company car? Would a company car be good for you?
Disney trips for life.
Disney trips for life. Listen,
ask the Mets
in Kentucky.
Ask the Mets how they feel about Bobby Bonilla's lifetime contract. They're still paying him, aren't they?
Yeah, which is hilarious.
Yeah, how'd that work out for them?
Every year you get those memes of somebody who signs a big contract, even the Mike Trout contracts, even the what was it, Manny Machado contracts, and you get, and the Mets are still paying Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, $1 million a year it was. In all honesty, I think it expires in 2 years, I think.
Well, it was kind of a lottery contract, man.
Yeah. But good. Listen, good for Bobby Bonilla. Hell.
It's like, you want $1 million a year for half your life.
Imagine he's into like November and he's got like $40 left, and he's like, God, how am I going to get there? I got 6 weeks, $40. What do we do? Don't worry, Bob, you got $1 million coming in 6 weeks.
Ramen noodles.
Yeah, really. No, don't eat those. Bad. I saw something. I think it was either on, I don't want to admit to it, but maybe it was Facebook. But it was ramen noodles are bad. You don't digest them. Yeah, it's awful stuff. They showed pictures of the ramen noodles like sitting in your stomach for a while.
Well, all I know is I ate a lot of them when I was a broke-ass kid.
Oh, I did
and
too.
in
We
college.
We all did.
So, well, I guess that's the reason why I didn't take a shit from 1985 to 1989 then. Everybody's like, you're full of shit. Well, you know what? Maybe technically I am.
I know you long enough. I know that you've more than made up for it since, though. Yeah, there's been some quality time in the bathroom. Yeah.
Quality time. Yeah. Thank God for social media.
All right, so Calipari's contract, good for him. If they offer, he takes it. He may not. I mean, he's what, 61, we said?
He's crazy if he doesn't take that.
Lifetime contract.
$10 million a year till you die.
Okay, fine.
And you're the king of Kentucky. Was it Lexington? You're the king of Lexington, Kentucky.
I don't think they'll pay him the same money they pay him yearly to coach after he's done coaching. Do you? It's going to be some sort of whatever, right off into the sunset package.
Coach for life.
Yeah, whatever. It's silly.
Maybe they get to kill him at the end. At the end of it, it's like, okay, you're done. Instead of firing, it's just like, pew.
Sit him down, ask him, hey, John, how many more years you want to coach? Okay, let's add 5 to that
2.
Just to cover it, and let's pay for the next 10 years or whatever it's going to be. It's silly.
2. I want to coach for 2 more years.
Silly. So, football news.
Football news. Wait. Let me get the football news package.
Another day passes. Another day closer to football season.
OTAs.
It's here. Today was officially first day.
The non-voluntary OTAs.
Non-voluntary.
First thing I saw when I chimed in on ESPN2 actually, was an interview with Coach Freddie Kitchens of the Cleveland Browns, and the guy that they were immediately talking about, bang, Odell Beckham,
the new
Jr.
edition. Yeah, the new edition.
Oh yeah, well the new toy, if you will,
shiny toy right now.
Who, by the way, showed up, and big thanks to the producer, me, for the Herculean effort of finding pictures that didn't have New York Giants logos or New York Giants gear on them. I even got one he's not even standing around New York Giants fans. But it's that wonderful time of the year where we're getting trickles of football news. Little trickles, little dribbles, little dribs and drabs. Like just about everybody showed up to the Cleveland OTAs. Just about everybody showed up.
Do you think there's pressure in camp this year for them? I mean, they haven't wins and losses. I mean, I guess on paper,
people have lost their fucking minds. First of all, they're running around screaming, "We're going to win the Super Bowl." They're running around saying, "We're going to win the division," even, which is insane to me. Do something first.
Yeah, that's right.
If we're in week 8. And they're 6-2, then you can afford to get a little silly. You can start talk a little bit of shit.
Yeah.
But if we're at week 8 and you're 4-4, or 3-5, and you're staring up at a 2-game lead between the 5-3 Ravens or the 5-3 Steelers,
whatever it may be,
you know
what it is. How about this? How about not even week 8? The most important thing that I think you said was get there first before you are there.
Right.
Don't claim to be this until you are that. And it's a season worth. Have them be 2 games up with nothing to play. Then you can talk. And, but until then, just play football. A lot of expectations, a lot of pressure on the young guys. That's a huge signing. I mean, Baker's got some weapons.
Qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah, they've got some weapons. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, they just recently traded Ogba, their defensive end. They just traded him. He didn't come to OTAs today. You don't come to OTAs, we're going to trade you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not
They traded him to Kansas City. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's had real potential to be a impact player, but
it's not just bringing talent in. You've got to change the culture of that organization,
right? And guys like that, Yeah. I mean, they let go of some. They let go of some pretty good players last year, but those were guys that were part of the culture, part of the 4-12 culture.
Yeah, not worse than that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the 0-16 culture.
Yeah, not win a game culture. Yeah, not know how to win a game culture.
Good players. They went on to play on other teams that did well. Good players, but they were part of that 0-16 culture, and some of them had to go. So
You know, the biggest issue I see too with like a team like the Browns. I mean, everybody's young. Coaching staff's young too. You know, coordinators are young. They've got a huge uphill battle. Tough division. Steelers are obviously still the best team in that division, I think. And
Ravens, don't sleep on the Ravens.
Okay, I mean, fine. The division has history. You know, the Ravens, the Steelers being good, the Bengals.
The Bengals are going to suck.
Yeah, they're terrible every year. But you know,
no, they're mediocre every year. They're the Bengals of your division, or they're the Dolphins of your division.
The Red Rocket. So I got a sneeze coming.
Ah, Red Rocket. Oh, hey, I got it. Hey, go ahead, do it again. I dare you.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, but still, get there. All right, don't think you're there. Don't believe the hype. All right, get there, be there, and then you know, obviously, you've earned what people are at least think that you could be. You know, but just get there. It's a long season, so.
Well, listen, Cleveland fans are a little delirious, a little punch drunk. I mean, they've been taking a lot of abuse for a long time. You know, this is like somebody coming out of a mine that's been trapped in a mine for a month, and they're coming out into the noonday sun.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But here's some food. Food.
Yeah, it's
but
like,
be careful.
Good analogy.
You start pounding all that food. You haven't
you're
had
sick.
a good bite to eat in a while. You're going to throw it back up.
Yes, you are.
And then you're going to be sitting at the end of the season 8-8, 9-7, and not qualifying for the playoffs, and you are going to be pissed off. You're going to be upset.
If I was a Cleveland Browns fan, I would want to see progress. You know, big steps. You know, playoffs, great. I mean, but really, can you sit there and call them a Super Bowl contender? No. But I mean, playoffs, success, general movements in the right direction, win 9 games.
If you lose games, you lose games not because it's your fault.
Yeah, be competitive.
You lose because the other team just came up with one more play.
Yeah, get to the end of the season at 9-7, and then look at your 9-7 and go, okay, well, hey, we lost to the Patriots. We lost to teams that we probably should have lost to, but we had some really good games too.
7-8-1 was pretty impressive considering that you spotted what's his face you spotted Greg Williams. The interim head coach, you spotted him. He was 0-4, 0-5 when he came in.
Yeah,
and he was
turned
like,
it around.
Baker,
they believed it.
Get in.
Yeah, Baker took control.
Yeah, once Baker Mayfield got in, I believe he was 5-2. I think he was 5-2 as a starter.
Okay.
You extrapolate that out to 10-4, maybe 11-5.
Careful, I don't do that either. But you're right.
He ain't scared of the Steelers.
He's
I'll tell you that.
Second-year quarterback that's a little bit loose in the head with a lot of talent. So
a lot of talent.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, there was a young man down here in South Florida who was given the reins in year 2, and he went kind of fucking bananas with it, and he had a lot of talent too.
Yeah.
And he wore number 13. I don't want to say that Baker Mayfield is Dan Marino,
oh my gosh,
because he's about a foot shorter than Dan Marino.
He is
but,
not even
we're looking at a similar situation, kind of. Really, we are. I mean, a lesser established organization, lesser established franchise than what Marino was put in charge of. Because he was put in charge of a team. He was sent to the fore on a team that had a really good defense, had Don Shula as a head coach, and they built the system around him because they saw in the sampling that they had in 1983 when he was a rookie, they were like, oh, kid can ball out. Mwahaha, give me an offseason to build a playbook around this kid.
Yeah.
And what happened? 48 touchdowns, 5,000 yards.
That's a good lead-in for our Florida
for our break.
Sports. Yeah. Well, Florida sports too. If you want to do it now. You want to go into the break?
No, we'll do Florida sports, and then that'll lead into the Marlins, and then we'll do things like that. So, cool. And have you opened up YouTube and looked at the chat room yet? Open up YouTube and look at the chat room while we're on the break.
You talking to me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to do that. That's use the computer.
Yes, I'm opening up
YouTube
right
Gonzo
now.
Radio.
Yes.
Yeah, the Sports Desk live stream. There we go. All right. Well, while he's doing that, I'm going to send us to the break and let him clumsily try to figure out who's in the chat room. See, when you do the chat room thing, then people get involved and they like the show, and then we get more than 15 viewers.
I know.
Break time. Florida Sports coming up right after this. Cube Zoom. Hi, welcome back to the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. Big Daddy Gonzo here, manning the computer. I am the Mousmeister, and we're getting after it pretty hard here. Actually, we're moving at a pretty brisk and efficient pace. We are very, very efficient in our execution, and of course, I was very efficient in our execution until we got to the break, and then I played last week's break because I'm an idiot. But hey, there I am. Boom, I'm Big Daddy Gonzo. I am your host. Seated across from me as you watch me look, and there's no fourth wall. There's just absolutely no fourth wall. Fourth wall is gone. You are the Mazz. Hi, how you doing? Hi. Say hi to the nice people.
Hello.
We're
nice
back
people.
again,
That's
once
us.
again, and we're here to make a mess. We really are. We were getting into baseball, and then we got into the Marlins, and then we drifted off into Florida sports.
Yes.
And the debate was begun of who is the more significant presence in the history of Florida sports.
Okay.
Which we both agree that there should be a Pat Riley Boulevard.
For sure. I mean, I don't know about history. He's the only one in the last 40 years down here, 35 years, that's represented any sort of success for South Florida sports.
Well, now there were times the University of Miami, but that we're talking about pro sports.
Sorry, strictly pro.
All right, because University of Miami, we're talking about a team that's won
national
national championships, both in baseball and football.
Okay, no, this is just strictly the top four sports.
We got a pretty good track team, too.
And you know what? I'm not even talking now. Baseball included. Everybody will say, "Oh, two championships." Bullshit. 2 championships. The Marlins are a joke.
Oh, we're not talking about the Marlins yet.
I'm just saying they're a joke. I'm saying baseball. I mean,
you just want to get right to the. You want to get right to it. Is that what it is?
We're talking South Florida sports. The Marlins are a professional baseball team. So,
all right, but I hold off.
I know.
Hold off. Hold him back. Hold him back.
I know.
All right. Well. First of all, let's switch cameras so everybody knows I'm talking. Let's get into, since we have OTAs today, the Miami Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
I have no up-to-date or detailed attendance details, but I would hope that everybody would show up today.
I would imagine. Make a good impression.
Yeah, especially since there's a lot of young guys.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that goes well, and that's going well. The Panthers did not qualify for the playoffs again, but they have done one thing the last couple of years, and that is they've shed a lot of big contracts, and they've got a lot of money freed up. They've got a lot of money to spend because hockey has a salary cap, and they have a lot of money to spend next year.
Hockey, what is it? 60% of the teams make the playoffs, I believe, every
right.
year.
So how the fuck did they miss with all those? With such a talented roster.
This year, they've been to the playoffs twice in the last 25 years, I think.
Right, and Dave Talon has built a very, very talented team. The big problem, I think, is that it's coaching. Bugner just doesn't get it done. He's too young. He's nobody.
You know what?
He's a new head coach.
Okay, but how many coaches have they had in the last 20 years? I don't know the answer to, but I'm guessing it's probably more than just that guy. There's probably had 15 coaches.
Sure.
So every coach who's come in has been bad. So why are they hiring all these bad coaches?
We've put good coaches with bad teams.
No, it's bad culture. It's
bad culture.
It's bad.
But Dave
sports.
Talon has been here for the last 5 years now, and he's changed the culture.
Maybe it will
He's
change.
He's developed the youth.
I still go down to games and the stadiums are and they're empty down there. So I mean, that's never changed.
Well, and hopefully they stop because South Florida sports fans, and nobody's going to come out until you're winning. You look at the Heat games. Okay, you look at the Heat games. Even when the big three were down here, you still had maybe 2,000 or 3,000 seats empty.
Yeah, but the difference is you can tell you still have a base with the Heat is because merchandise sales are still very good, and they do sell tickets. They sell the corporate seats well.
Yeah.
They have a TV deal. The Heat are doing just fine. So they're a good representation of the Florida sports.
Oh, I'm not worried about the Heat.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
They're fine. So,
but I'm just saying that the Miami fan base, the South Florida sports fan base, they're as Homer front runner as can be.
I get it.
Okay, they are, and that's one of the funny things that you have all these people that are in love with teams or are from other markets who are like, oh, we have 100% attendance all the time. I'm like, yeah, when you have a good team, okay, but when your team sucks, You know, like your Steelers. Okay? When your Steelers have a bad year, you can see empty yellow seats.
Sure, there is a percentage, but that percentage isn't indicative of having poor attendance when the games do matter, or at the beginning of the season when it's game one. How do you defend that?
Yeah, that's indefensible.
Yeah,
that's indefensible.
They haven't even. The season hasn't started yet, and it's.
I mean, you look at the New York Mets. I love New York Met fans. I love New York sports fans either way. I love to hate them because they talk so much shit. Okay, and the big thing that kills me, and it's also with the Yankees too. Although the Yankees tend to sell a whole lot of tickets because they're the fucking Yankees.
Yeah.
But you look at New York Mets fans, New York Jets fans. Okay. And they talk a lot of shit, and they talk a lot of smack about other teams having fair weather fans. But you look in the stands, like last year with the Jets, half empty stadiums.
Yeah.
You know, the second game against the Dolphins, everybody was talking about how there were as many Dolphin fans as there were Jet fans there.
You know what it is
in Rutherford?
With the New York fans, too, in particular, I don't think they're so much fair weather as they are not as when they latch onto an idea about a player and he's not performing up to their expectations, they want to hang him in the streets. Stanton is a prime example of that right now. That big contract.
They quick put him on the injured list.
And now that he's hurt too, wow, that kid's under a lot of pressure.
He wanted the big bucks.
Yeah, well, he got the big bucks, whether he wanted it or not. So.
Yeah, so I don't buy the whole Miami is a fair weather city. I think every city is a fair weather city if your team sucks or your team's mediocre or your team is mediocre and doesn't have any real standout stars, nobody that they can really hang their hat on or wear the jersey on, you know?
Well, can I give you a couple of teams that aren't fair weather, a couple of cities that aren't fair weather? You know,
here we go.
Can we talk a little bit
St. Louis?
I got 9 teams this year so far in opening weekend that are 35,000 plus in their stadiums in baseball.
35,000 plus.
9 of the 15 home games this weekend. 35,000 plus.
Okay. Well, now the Marlins just had a 4-game stand.
They did.
With Colorado.
They did. They also had
these guys right there.
They also had 35,000 fans.
They had 35,000 fans.
Well,
that sounds great.
In all 4 games combined. They got that total. Yes, they averaged 11,000 fans per game. Just a hero battle. I think it was 11,700. So let's give them 12,000. Is that fair?
Well, here, and you know what's really funny? We have a segment on the 8 o'clock show called "Are You Fucking Kidding Me?" And that's what I want to say right now is, Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, it's
seriously.
It's really not.
Well, listen. First of all, we're talking about an organization that has loosied the city of Miami, Charlie Brown, 4 times now.
Yeah.
They've snatched the ball away 4 times when you run up to kick it.
Yeah.
Okay. They've snatched the rug out from underneath the city 4 times. Yeah. Now they've done it while winning 2 championships.
Sure.
But there were 2 instances where excellent executives made moves in 2 or 3 years' time to build a competitive team.
You had baseball people making baseball decisions,
right.
And that's where they were able to get the talent. The Gary Sheffields and the Jeff Conines in the early days, and those guys that were the cornerstones of those championships.
I get the feeling we're about to get into the walk-off.
It's simple. Well, first, before the walk-off, what I like to do is as we go along is just monitor the big 3. Now, the big 3 were the 3 guys that signed the big contracts. So
right.
In baseball, since we do baseball,
I'm just giving you the walk-off graphic.
Yeah, so that's fine. But just real quick, Machado, Harper, and Trout, the big 3, the big contracts. Harper to this point, he got a couple of homers. Now, It's early. He's hitting 333.
Yeah.
Trout, same thing, 333. He's got no homers at this point. Machado's struggling, hitting 200, and he's got 0 homers at this point. First week of the season. Don't jump to conclusions.
Well, it's San Diego. It's such a stressful town.
Yeah, the beaches and the weather, it's terrible.
It's horrible, I'm telling you.
Great Chinese food, by the way, in San Diego.
Yes, yes, and Mexican.
So
they're right next to Mexico.
The rant. Here's my rant today, folks. Derek Jeter. I'm sorry, Derek Jeter. Derek Jester. I'm calling him
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jester, as in court jester. Embarrassing this weekend. They announced the attendances for this weekend for baseball. 15 teams this weekend played at home. The Marlins were 15th in attendance. They averaged 11,800 fans during each of the home games.
Nice.
Now, just to give you some perspective, The Tampa Bay Rays. They're the Rays, right? Not the Devil Rays or the something else Rays.
Just the Rays.
The Tampa Bay
Guys named Ray.
Rays, a team about 100 miles north, 60 miles across the coast.
Yeah.
They were second to last. Okay.
Sad.
17,000 fans. So, numbers, 60% less attendance than the Tampa Bay Rays.
Well, and listen, the fans in Tampa have also been hosed by the Rays before, too. They've been hosed by their team. They have. They built up, torn down, built up, torn down, played money ball.
So as bad as they've had it and as bad as that stadium is, we're 60% behind them. They're second worst. Now, like I mentioned earlier, there were 9 teams so far this year through their homestands that had 35,000 plus. L.A., Washington, obviously those cities, Chicago, those teams that were home, they have a fan base. But the Marlins, first year, talking about the new ownership, getting a little bit excited, showing some sort of whatever it is they're trying to teach the fans or this new way, the new Marlins way. Hey, the uniforms look great. Nobody saw them.
They did some renovations to the stadium as well.
Yeah, I think they changed the color in that fish tank, the one that's behind home plate. I think it's got neon lights now.
They moved the fish tank actually.
Did they move?
And they moved that big obnoxious thing that goes off when one of the players hits a home run. They moved that.
Yeah.
They got rid of that.
Yeah.
I think they sold it to somebody.
They probably did. They probably scrapped it.
And I think they got rid of the big Budweiser sign over the bar in left field. Listen, change that. I don't even think the Clevelander is there anymore. No more nightclub within the stadium.
Here's what hasn't changed to this point. There's nobody going to the games, and fine if you're not winning and people are saying they're not going because they're not winning. Then find other reasons to go.
You suck.
It's up to the Marlins to give these tickets away, guys. $5 tickets, every ticket.
Well, wait. Have you ever been to a Marlins game during the summer?
Yes.
During the day?
Yes.
With 15,000 little kids?
You know what? They do that for about 2 weeks during the summer, and that's okay too.
For a while, yeah.
Why I go to those games and enjoy those because you can actually hear people in the stands.
Yes.
They're kids, but there's people in the stands.
Yes, you can't hear the pitcher fart.
You actually see people selling stuff, like the vendors. They're actually excited to work that day because they've got money to be made. It's a joke. It's a joke. If you're not going to win, you know the analogy we talked about before we went to air?
But why blame Jeter?
Because who do I blame? When you have an issue like this, when you have a culture you're trying to change, you're supposed to be the face of the issues. You're supposed to be in front of the issues, not hiding behind them. What kind of confidence is that putting in the fans and in the fan base to think that whatever rhetoric that you're trying to sell them is going to actually have any weight? It's going to mean something.
All right, but wait, but Jeter is this guy.
Face the entire season, so you're not going to run, you're not going to hit and run. You got to wait for a gapper.
He's one of the most clutch players that I've ever seen in sports.
How will you remember Derek Jeter?
Derek Jeter with one of the most unbelievable plays you will ever see.
See, he's that guy.
Yeah, he is that guy.
Well, what's wrong with having that guy?
There's nothing wrong with having that guy as a player. Listen, I don't know what
Giambi was out.
He was out.
He wasn't out?
No, he was safe.
He was safe?
He knew he was safe.
Oh, come on.
Listen, one of the greatest plays that I'm so sick of seeing, it was wrong. So where was replay when you needed it then? He was safe.
Replay would have been...
You watch that. You watch it 100 times out of 100.
Would have totally changed it.
Safe. Not even close. Anyway, listen. Stop kissing Jeter's ass, people. All right? Hold him accountable. You know he's the face of this group. He knew he was going to be that when he came in. I mean, that was all the talk in the offseason. You didn't hear about the other owners or the other partners that were in this deal. I mean, who else is there? There's a guy named Douglas, I think, is one of the main money principles that, well, who cares? The point is that you're the baseball guy. You're the guy that's responsible. Get in front of this. Put some people in the stands. Tell people that things are going to be different. And if you can't get people in the stands, give the frickin' seats away. $5 tickets.
I'll take $5 tickets.
Saturday, Sundays when the kids can go. Sell them for $5. Open up the outfield. The kids don't care. Just get them in the stadium.
I really like the businessman special, though, and that's when you really get like 3,000 people at the game. It doesn't matter who's there.
You're talking about the baseball
game? The daytime businessman special. There's like 3,500 people there.
Yeah, Chinese buffet came to mind when you said businessman special.
You're a weirdo. Okay. Yeah. Is that anything else to add?
No, basically that's it. It's baseball time, people. Enjoy it. Hey, Phillies, by the way, only undefeated team in baseball right now.
I knew you had to get that in there
somehow. Boy. Yeah. It's only 3 games, but undefeated. Only team.
Lots of hair flipping.
2 homers for Bryce.
Yeah, he found out what it was like to go, what was it, 0 for his first 5?
He struggled. I mean, listen, it's
come
game.
on.
One game.
The Phillies fans were giving him the business.
Listen, battery sales went up 20% inside city limits of Philadelphia in anticipation of him showing up to the stadium. So
yeah, but and I'll tell you what though, and once he started raking, they started going, they start chanting MVP.
Oh yeah,
like it's a third fucking game.
It'll
of
be
the
like
year.
that all year round. Yeah, that's just how it goes.
Y'all drink a lot in Philly, don't you?
Listen, sign the big bucks and just it's
Sure.
a roller coaster. Yeah, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Big fan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to say our bye-byes. We're going to get out here in record early time. Actually, no, we're not at record early time. It's only 20 till.
Yeah, we're good.
Because we got the Gonzo Radio Show coming up at 8 o'clock. Make sure you check us out, the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk on Instagram, Mazz, at Mazz on the Instagrams and on the Twitters.
Twitter.
And of course, he's Matthew Masaracchio
That's me.
on Facebook.
Yes.
And of course, the Gonzo Radio Sports Desk fan page and group on the Facebooks. I'm Big Daddy Gonzo. That's the Mazz. Say goodbye.
Goodbye. Peace out.
Peace out for him, and we will catch you guys again next week, 7 o'clock sharp. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll get you a proper out. All right. Catch you next week. Bye.